Howdy, everybody out there. Ooh, boy, my voice is not good. I just need to get some water in here. I'm drinking too much coffee or something like that. Never drink too much coffee, right? Sound check time. Check on sound. Make sure we're good. Howdy, everybody out there. Yeah, sound check's good. So you can hear me at least currently, and you can watch me. That's good. We're good to go. There you go. So anyway, hi everybody. How's it going out there? Yeah, we got a lot of fun today. We have a marriage to conduct, apparently. Yeah, in case you did pick up on that. But anyway, we got Linux Mint 21, which just came out recently, and we also have the Linux. We also have Budgie Desktop, which we're gonna marry up to the two. Now, just be clear, Linux Mint doesn't have an official or unofficial version of Budgie Desktop that they ship with their stuff. We're actually installed Budgie Desktop on Linux Mint 21 today. Sounds good, huh? So anyway, with that said, we will get rolling here in a bit, but we're going to check in, see if anybody's, yeah. Well, what news do I have today? Well, I did a lot of work and stuff today on my church treasurer stuff. That was not totally related to Linux, but I spent most of the week on that pretty much. So it's a good thing I had this planned out ahead of time because I didn't have any time to put together stuff like this. But yeah. So anyway, let's see, what do we got on tap for Newsday? Well, we got Peppermint. Peppermint just released a version, which will probably do that one next week, more than likely. And says suggests we're going to do that. Review Peppermint. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. So I had Peppermint installed as a daily driver on this laptop over here for a while. And I've also got a lot of other interesting things about Peppermint. See what they've done with it, that kind of thing. Be cool. So we'll probably do Peppermint next week. But anyway, that just came out. We also have, let's see what else is in the news. Yeah, I'm not really sure exactly all the thing. I'm not a news kind of guy that much. I mean, well, news, but yeah. So I don't know all the going ons of everything, everybody, everywhere, but it is what it is, I guess. So anyway, let's see. So we got nobody on the stream right now, pretty much. All alone again. Servon won't be here today because he's going to lunch with somebody. So that's out of the question, I guess, but he'll be along next week or something like that, I'm sure. And we'll see what we get and other people. Someday I guess I'll have a bunch of people waiting for me when I get on, like Steve does. Steve, you know Steve very own. This guy right there. Yeah. Got my old Guatemalan coffee here. So anyway, let's see. What else been going on? Well, I did install. Oh yeah, I promised him I'd do this maybe a few weeks ago when I did Titan Linux. When I promised him I would install it on my daily driver machines and give it a test spin and try it for a while and then make a report. I've pretty much done that pretty much. I haven't given a review of it yet for them, but I have it on my computer currently test driving. So far it's running great. Stable as stable can be, pretty much. So that's good news. And we have, let's see. I don't know if I've done anything else this week, really. So I guess I've been so busy with the church treasure stuff, I hadn't had time much to do anything much else. But that'll be over because our parish council meeting's this week, and then then we'll be back to normal mode, I think, and hope, pray. So, yeah, we have Bungie. Now, Linux Mint 21 just was recently released. We'll take a look at that here in a second. I've already installed it in a virtual machine, so we won't go through the whole install on that because I wanted to save a little time for mainly our main production, which is to marry the two together, not to sit there and look at Linux Mint that much. Oh, we will look at it a little bit, but we won't be real extensive as normal. So, but we'll look at it a little bit, see what it's got on it, and then we'll go to marriage ceremony time. Because you got to check out your wife or husband before you marry them, right? So, yeah. So we'll do that here, and I guess we'll get cooking on it since nobody showed up yet. We'll just get started. Somebody always shows up later on. So far, it's always happened at least once. So please Steve or one of the other guys or show up Adam or somebody. And Nathan or somebody like that, and we'll have a marriage ceremony, huh? So, I think I need to go screen share first. This is my MX Linux desktop, as you probably have already heard of before. But that should be on number 2 here, so second workspace is what we're on. Okay, we're going to go over to website then and check out Linux Mint, see where I downloaded it from, okay? And there's Linux Mint's website. Cute, huh? And yeah, it's real professional looking actually. And it's a nice laid out website. Vanessa is the code name for this version of Linux Mint 21, which is just, I guess it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago that it came out, something like that. And yeah, you can see the latest version of Friendly operating system. Friendly. It's mainly Linux Mint's main claim to fame, so to speak, but it basically it's a friendly desktop for Windows users who are just getting over from. I mean, you can use it for anything. I mean, you can. A lot of power users use this too, but it's specifically designed for the user to be friendly and have everything they need. And so when they load it up, you can just use it right out of the box, they say. Yeah. So now most of us like to put our own programs in, that kind of thing. So if you like to do that, this may not be as good of a distro for you. I don't know if they have a minimal version of it. I don't think so. So it's not their stick, basically. They basically want everything on there, word processors, LibreOffice, and all that kind of stuff on there, which we'll look at here in a minute. Let's see what's got on it. So anyway, if you want to download a copy of it, you go down here, download, like that. Click on that. You have your installation instructions, in case you need instructions for that. You got your Cinnamon Edition, download. Latte Edition, download that. Click that link. Your XFCE Edition, download that. Click that link. So 3 official editions they have. And that's not like they're ready to add any more editions like Bungie or anything like that. So the official marriage ceremony would be a big one. It'd be a new official edition of Linux Mint that had Bungie, but that's not they're ready for that anytime soon. So don't expect that. But if you want Bungie on Linux Mint, this is how you do it. Yeah. So you download. Now, one thing I wanted to point out here Is that the Linux Mint edition you want to use? It's probably XFCE more like, or Mate maybe. I haven't tried Mate, so I don't know how well it works, but I know one guy who tried to install Bungie with Cinnamon, and he had some issues conflicting with Nautilus, which Bungie requires, by the way. Nautilus File Manager, and Nemo. Now you can keep Nemo on there and use Nemo, but you have to have Nautilus File Manager on there to use Bungie. So anyway, there's some conflict between them and stuff like that. So because it's kind of married with yeah, it's kind of like married already somewhat. So we're not cheating here. We're not doing a double marriage or something like that, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. But Cinnamon Edition is got more ties into it. It's official. What do you call it? Flagship of the Linux Mint. It's their own version that they created, and so therefore naturally, you get Cinnamon Edition on several other distros too, but this is official version of it. This is the creme de la crop, or whatever you want to call it. So you have this. So what I suggest you download XFCE. I know this one works because that's what we're going to do today, and I'll show you how to do it. You have Thunar on there. You're going to use Thunar instead of Nautilus, but yeah, Nautilus is a decent file manager, I would claim. It's not my favorite, but it's decent. I guess it gets the job done, basically. Basics of it, but it's not as easy to use. I have many options as Nemo and Thunar and some of these other ones. But it's also simpler to use too. So if you like simple, you'll like Nautilus, I guess. Yeah. So that's what I downloaded, and I, like I said, installed it in a virtual machine, and that's what I installed it in. So let's get cooking on the virtual machine and see what we got. Ready? Here we are on a virtual machine. We've already had Linux Mint Bungie go. We're fired on. And the traditional Linux Mint logo pops up. And I believe it uses LightDM as its display manager. I'm pretty sure it does. All right. There we are, Linux Mint. One of the nice things is, if you notice, anytime you install Linux Mint, Cinnamon, or Cinnamon of any desktop, of any distro, in the virtual machine, it usually gives you the software rendering issue. Yeah, it doesn't do that in XFCE. It probably doesn't do it in Mate either, I don't assume. It's more a thing for that, I guess. So anyway, it's Linux Mint. And let's see, did I put that? Okay. Says standard XFCE accessories. Application finder, which is nice if you don't have a good searching menu, which is pretty decent, so I don't have to worry about that. It's a whisker menu setup here. And like I say, we're not going to do an extensive look at these, but we may just kind of see what we got here, what it comes installed with. And if you do want graphics, you probably have to install some graphics somewhere. It does have a simple drawing utility. I've never tried that, so I don't know how good it is, but how simple it is, that kind of thing. But it is. But you can easily install GIMP or Inkscape or or Creed or any of those that you want to install on here. Internet, back out of the box, does come with simple. So then here you have your Firefox web browser, Hex Chat, Thunderbird, Transmission, which is a torrent downloader, and you have your web apps thing where you can set up web apps, and we've shown that in previous videos too. So yeah, so you have that. Now you got multimedia. It's got celluloid, which is my favorite, basically, to play movies with instead of a VLC. You had a watch TV on Hypnotics, your volume control, and your music player, Rhythm Box, which is pretty decent. And you have your LibreOffice, which is what I use all the time in my writing and stuff like that. And you have your settings. Yeah, you have all your settings. That's where you go if you want to get settings and anything like that. And you have your system login window. You can figure login window. You can check your logs, printer, software, all good stuff. So that's what you got there. Now we're going to take a peek just to see what now. I can verify that all this stuff comes on it, but I think I did. I don't think I installed much on here at all. Obviously, I haven't installed Desktop, so sudo apt power to update. See what we got out there and how many packages we got to update for. 58 packages. We ought to probably upgrade the packages before we install Budgie on here, so we're going to do that pretty quick here. Let's see, is there anything here I don't want updated? I don't think so. It's like a bunch of LibreOffice stuff, Firefox, and some helper files, stuff like that. Some Mint-stick, stuff of that nature, Java, headless, Python. Yeah, it looks all good to me. So yep, we'll continue on with the updates. I don't know how fast it'll go, but it should go pretty quick, I think. So, I think, what am I thinking? Thinking something, aren't I? Yeah, you know I'm thinking something, but you don't know what I'm thinking. Till I tell you what I'm thinking, at least. But, yeah, I was trying to think if there's any news. Looks like it's almost done downloading. Yep, now it's gonna install everything I just downloaded. Should go pretty quick, I think. LibreOffice. Yeah, it's like it's Linux Mint. And after this, we'll install Desktop. We'll check the memory usage on this. Usually Siemens XFCE is pretty good on this. I think I checked, it seemed unusually low though. It seemed like it's in 400 megabytes or something like that. Pretty low. The lowest I've ever installed is when I installed my server, Debian server. I didn't install a graphical desktop, I just had it console based. And it had 66 megabytes. Just 66 megabytes is all I used. Pretty low, pretty low. Can't get much lower than that and have an operating system that works. Maybe there's a distro out there that can do it cheaper than that, but what's the point? You get down to 66, you're not going to get much lower without killing your system. So Now it's done updating. Yay! It's pretty quick program to install. And it's done. Yeah, looks like we got 607 megabytes right now. A little bit more than 500. Not much, but a little bit. I mean 500 in 500s. Not 500, but 500s. Yeah, so that's not too bad. 607 megabytes, 607 megabytes, most people can live with pretty easy. That's SFC for you. SFC is a pretty easy on the memory type thing. Yeah, so that's why I included this version of it with this, because Mate and XFCE both are lower end, lower resource usage desktop environments. And you see how much of a resource the desktop environments use when most people have bigger machines with bigger memories nowadays, so it's not really an issue for most people. But if you have an older machine or something like that, this is the distro to put on it. Or this is the desktop environments, XFCE. And I personally, that's what I use on my, well, it's what it comes with. I fly a flagship out. MX Linux comes with it out of this box. You can also get KDE on it, but XFCE is probably better in this regard. And if you want to hear my rant on stuff like that, you can always watch an earlier version of this. I have my reasons for them. Taking a little bit of time with this because aside from the fact that it's a new distro, I want to give you a little idea of what it's like and stuff. I did want to show you that that's the first time I've seen the memory show up close to what HTOP shows on there. 608. I think it's 609 on HTOP. That's the first time I've seen that happen. Usually memory on this shows down here at the bottom of it. This memory here is usually several megabytes more than what it shows on HTOP. This time it's about exact. Maybe it's got some trick up its sleeve there. Yeah, so we have, and then I've given this two processors, two threads of my 8 threads of my i5. And you will see that I've got, there's a XFCE Window Manager and XFCE. Now you got 2,131 packages installed on here through DPKG. You don't know, apt is kind of a apt and all these package managers. Basically wrappers that use DPKG to install stuff. You can install it directly with DPKG if you wanted to, but it's a little more involved of a process. More things you have to know to plug in to the command line. But hey, also I do have Nala installed over here. That's one of the things. The one thing I did install this week on this computer over here is Nala, which is a window, a wrapper around apps. So we have a wraparound app, and apps wrap around the DPKG D package. Basically what it stands for. I'm not sure what the D stands for, but it's some kind of process like that. Anyway, that's it. And of course, Linux Mint has all those fancy backgrounds. We're not gonna go through all that and stuff like that. So, time to marry these two together, aren't we? Now, if you're like a Budgie desktop user, like my friend Peter is, then you, excuse me, then You might want to, you say, yeah, really, and he's also a Linux Mint, which is funny because he used to be a real Linux Mint. Now he's, I think, more Solus and that kind of thing. But Solus has Bungie on it already. It's a matter of fact, they're the ones who made it originally. So, but if you want a Linux Mint, you're a lover of Linux Mint, lover, you want to use Linux Mint, but you also want a Bungie Desktop, this is how you do it. Okay. Now I have some notes here of how to go about doing this. Okay. How to marry Linux Mint, the Bungie Desktop. First, of course, naturally, download and install Linux Mint. So when we've already done that, we've already installed it, we got it set up and ready to roll. Okay, so then you add open the terminal, add the following. This will add this repository into your, it's basically adding a PPA repository into Debian or whatever. You can do this on Debian, which is what, or Ubuntu. Now, so being this is Ubuntu, it's base distro, unless you installed the Debian. The Debian version of Linux Mint, which is another option you also have. It's still use Cinnamon Desktop, but it's I had to install it on this machine for a while, but it kind of had a hiccup or something. I'm not sure what happened, but anyway, I decided to install something different. I needed to install Titan anyway, so I'm gonna do it. So we're gonna copy that. We're gonna go back to Linux Mint. Open our web browser. I'm gonna paste it in there. And what's my password? I like this that it does sudo with the asterisk, because sometimes I'm not sure what I've typed or how many letters I've typed. Type my password in. That way I can see when I register something. Okay, so it says you're about to add the following PPA. Contains latest Bungie desktop or Ubuntu Bungie together with other recommended applications and versions of application not available in the main universal repositories. More info, go there, then press enter to continue or control C to cancel if you don't want to do this. Well, we're going to do it, so press enter. And more than that, it's appreciated. Yeah, that's all that stuff. It's appreciated, but it'll still work right now. 21, Linux Mint 21. So I think it's based off of the latest version of Ubuntu Jammy, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, so it's your key, public key. Launchpad PPA for Ubuntu Bungie. Currently, that's all it's on there, but if you want to want to have it in there to update and stuff like that, then that's where you do that. Now, next thing we do, I believe, is install the puppy. Yeah, but then you get the update, because you got to update first before you get, so you should have to update. And you install Ubuntu Desktop. I think I put these notes down in the description if you want them. So yeah, if you want to do it yourself or something like that, you can do that. So after that, paste in here, and away it goes. Okay, so now you see it's done the PPA. So everything worked on that. No warnings, no errors, no nothing. Cool. So sudo run that. Okay, so now we got the sudo apt-get install Bungie desktop. So we got to put in there. And paste that in. That's installed. Okay, so it's installed 72 newly installed packages. Yes, yes, let's continue. Now it's installing the Budgie Desktop on to here. Takes a little while because you got a lot of packages down, 77. That goes pretty quick overall, especially if you have a faster computer like this one is. Oh, I only gave it 2 threads, so it's going pretty fast on 2 threads actually. Guess if you give it more threads, because I don't really have as much processing power on my computer to need it for all this other stuff I got on here. It's done. It's that fast. Yep. So now we'll look back at our notes again. Install Launch File Manager is Budgie required. So the next thing is install Nautilus File Manager. Copy that. Yes. Now this has been installed, so you have that going for you. Now let's see what it says we gotta do. What I said I wrote those notes actually, by the way. So now log out and back in, or you can do a reboot. Easiest from within the terminal, just type reboot. And once you press enter, it will begin its reboot process. And once you're at the login screen, you click the little circle in the upper right hand, upper right of the login field. You should see a selection from Budgie Desktop. Click on that one, enter your password. You should log into Budgie Desktop, married to Linux Mint. Yeah, so that's, we're almost done. Okay, reboot. It'll reboot itself and it'll, when you hit the login screen, that's when you gotta change it up. Yeah, it's pretty cool so far. And it's better work because last time I tried it, it worked fine and perfectly actually. No problems at all. So hopefully it'll do something. So here, click on this. And then you got your XFCE default session. That's one we're using right now. Now we're going to switch over to Ubuntu. Yay. So we got that. And here's Budgie Desktop. Yay. Yeah, your power button's on here. It's more gnomish like. And that it's based on GNOME, using GNOME tools. It has traditional Raven window, which is a notification. You also, well, if I have my face up here. You got your calendar, play music. It has other notifications will show up there. So, yeah, but otherwise you don't see that information. It stays out of your way, as they say. Yeah, so, yeah, you got Budgie Desktop over here. Menu. Looks familiar, doesn't it? Utilities. This has all traditional Budgie stuff. It has some XFCE stuff in here because there's some crossover. But it works fine. System tools. So you got XFCE terminal if you want to continue using that, or you can install whatever you want. And virtual. Now I'm not sure about this, but I'm not sure if it comes. I don't think I installed VirtualBox on there, and I don't think it was on the XFCE version, so it must be coming with the Budgie version. Time shift. Lunar problem. There's the XFCE Lunar. And you got Task Manager, HTOP, which we installed earlier, so it probably pulled that. bulk rename and Budgie Desktop settings. But you can go to that. You'll see you have style, desktop fonts, Raven, Windows, all that good stuff that you normally associate with Budgie. Now, one thing I'm curious about is if we install, what's the difference in there? Okay, we have 645 megabytes, so we have about an extra, excuse me. So you have about an extra, let's see, it was about 30 plus megabytes of memory usage. Not too shabby for some based on GNOME, huh? Not too shabby at all. And yeah, you can see running by new window manager, all that stuff. And UFS, just so you can see everything's worked over. You got a Linux Mint, and you have Budgie 10.6.1 and Mutter, the Budgie window manager. Everything else pretty much the same, except for little tidbits here and there. See, now it's reporting 777 megabytes. That's, of course, it might be due to NeoFetch being added to the mix or something like that. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, that's pretty good. This is nice desktop settings. System settings. I think you have to go to system settings to get the background and stuff like that. So it has all the Linux Mint stuff on here too, but to get to them, you probably have to do something. That's some interesting pictures here. You know, this one. You want a nice scenic. Yeah, it's nice if you like that kind of thing. I kind of like it actually, but I'm exploring at the moment. So look at that now. We'll see. That's interesting. Ball, snowball or something like that. Interesting. Little snowflakes shaped into a ball. And yeah, this is interesting. I'm not sure exactly what it says, but it's interesting. And yeah, some more traditional ones over here. Oh, there's another ball. Disco duck. That reminds me of at least, but it's probably not different. Yeah, that's interesting. It's kind of for dark themes, I guess. Yeah. So, I don't know if it spells anything, but it's interesting to look at it. Now, if you want to get more pictures, you can go here. You can come down to other locations. Computer. And you go to user, I believe. Just reversed it accidentally when I double clicked on it. Then you can go to share and backgrounds. It's reporting the wrong way. Backgrounds right there. And you got Linux Mint, you got Linux Mint Vanessa, which is current version, XFCE. Say you wanted to go to an earlier releasement. Get all these versions right there. Hold down your shift key and press on the last one. Mark them all, or hit Control A, either one will work. And then, no, mine, a face in front of that, open. And there you go, landed more pictures, hopefully. These are all our announcement type things. So if you wanted to go back to the one you had before, releasement, you could go to see. Pick any you want. I think, but I'm not sure. I think this may be the one. No. That's funny looking a little bit. So yeah. Yeah, there it is. That's a version it starts out with when you initially log. If you want that advertisement on there, that kind of thing, go for it, or any background you want to pick. You can pick them that way. So that's how you can spice that up, and yeah, you can change this, I think. And then have a direct click on desktop settings. I think you can change desktop settings. Fonts. Put widgets on there, kind of thing. Everything. You want to do that? Sort of better than animations. Let's see too. Fonts you can use. Raven, information Raven. Settings for that. Maybe just put Windows calendar. Windows. This is a Windows operating system. It's Windows. How Raven or Budgie Desktop handles Windows. Like this was a window here. Attach mode out of window. Yeah, so you get all this stuff you can do. There's some decent settings, and Ubuntu is not as flexible as some like Cinnamon or especially KDE and that kind of thing, but pretty good, pretty good. Most people will be happy with this, I think. Yeah, down here, auto start. That's where you add your apps. You want to auto start certain app when you log on or boot up or whatever. Go in there. You can add application or you add command. Yeah, a script, you want to add a command. If you want to add application off your menu, go there or pull it up. Say you wanted to pull that up every time about me. Okay. Then when we boot up and do it next time, we'll show about me on it. It's about me. It's all about me. Yep. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this only happened on the Budgie desktop. Probably not when you're on XFCE, but I'll check on it real quick. I want to see if it entered anything in the config. Let's see. Mm-hmm. I forgot what I came here to look for. Oh, auto start. There it is. Yeah, there it is. Or boost your mugshot desktop. That's what it is. We can check real quick, find out what it is. It's about me section. That's what we just installed. It might actually boot up if it's in there and there because it's a desktop setting. Unless it says only Bungie can run it down here. Mugshot, the name of this application. It's kind of funny when you think of mugshot. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's anything. It says only. Cause you KDE, you can set it to where it'll only show up with KDE menus, that kind of thing, but doesn't seem to have that. So yeah, so it should run next time. Maybe when you log into XFCE. Now, in case you're worried that you won't be able to go back to XFCE once you install this, then log out and log back in on that. Yeah. Log out. There it is. Hiding it from me like that. Okay, go back to your login screen and you switch back to XFCE. Just like that. Now every time you log in, it'll be on this until you switch it back over to the other desktop environment. That's how you have 2 or more desktop environments on your system at one time. Let's log back in, XFCE, let's see if it shoots up about me on here. Yes, it does, mugshot. It's about me personally, not about the system, apparently. Oh well. So if you wanted to have that available, you could do something like that. So that's what that works. So even in XFCE, anything you put into auto start on Bungie will auto start on XFCE too. Who would have thunk it, huh? So that is your system where you marry up Bungie to XFCE Linux Mint 21. Pretty cool, huh? So far as I've been able to tell, it works pretty good. Yeah, the box. Now, let's check mailbag real quick. Oh, well, my phone's in there. Hold on, I'll be right back. See my phone in the other room because I don't want to have people worry about calling me or this time. Wife was about to call me, I think, but let's see. Yeah, too. No. Okay. Okay, but it's throwing mail bag now. I'm gonna do, or I'm planning on doing with this deal. I create an email address and everything, which I mentioned at the top of the thing. Chat screen. Hey, Barco and Dorinda. How y'all guys doing? Didn't see you come in, or as I mentioned earlier. Yeah, so thanks for showing up. But anyway, we got the Budgie Desktop XFCE version. We got the Budgie on the other one. Did y'all see the Budgie one? Yeah, I'll log out now. Just to make sure. Yeah, there's actually a couple things I want to do on that anyway. Just log out. Select Budgie and log back in. You missed the install process of Budgie Desktop. You have to do that later. And you may get tired of having this pop out on you all the time. But here we're on Budgie Desktop. Oh, yeah. So I think it's got all the basic programs that you had on your XFCE desktop. Internet, Firefox, yeah, pretty much. You can use web apps. I don't know if you use web apps on here, but I guess you could. Let's test it out and see if it works. On Budgie. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? Have web apps on Budgie. So let's see. Go here. Name, let's call it author site. And when I go to HTTPS, Actually, this should go to our Linux, our non-Linux Guru guy website, which is subdomain into that. I mean, choose your icon for this. Know what icon you do for websites, but anyway, that's, yeah, you click on that and you have applications. You can choose Amazon, you can choose whatever that is, radio.com. This is confiscate the Evernote site for my, for fun of it. The Evernote category web. Other categories you can have here are internet, accessories, games, graphics, stuff. Oh, I know, yeah. So since we're opening this up in the internet website, but here you had decided to excuse me one more time while I clear my throat. Yeah, so these are the categories that add to the menu. When down here, menu pops up there. If you put a games, it'll be games. Where should I put this? This is what. Oh my! Now we'll add this to education, I guess. Makes sense. Firefox, you get that select browser. It's on the browser we have installed on this virtual machine, so it's the one we use. Custom parameters. Any of those. Navigation bar. Now this will set it up in the navigation bar. You also set up in private incognito window, which is your private window. If you want to open up a private window, so that reduces chance people will be able to track anything like that. This also includes your navigation bar. If you don't want a navigation bar, leave it unchecked like this. On a navigation bar, you check it out like that. We're gonna leave it unchecked like this, even though it's because otherwise website if you do it that way, right? Okay, so now we're gonna go there. And there we have it in there. Now we go there. Go down here. We're going to go to education, which is where we said we're going to put it. And it's blank. Oh no, it's right here. And see if it works in Bungie or not. It works. It works, yay! Works in Bungie, so you can set up these web screens if you always wanted web apps in Bungie. You got it now. Yeah, so. Yeah. So that's cool. So web apps works in there and other things like that. Pretty nice. Pretty sweet. Some system reports require to know what it's going to be the language packs, right? They got to install. Running system checks. Thinking about it. And boom. Add the X app status applet. We ain't worry about that right now, I don't think. It does install language packs. Set up system restore utility, which is time shift. Which is cool. And we are going to do this all stuff right now since it's just a virtual machine. I'm planning to get rid of it anyway, but yeah, you install your language packs, set up your source system restore utilities. And even that if you want to do that. So system information. Also the system report. And you get kernel 5.15.0. I didn't realize they had that big good of a kernel in here. Yeah, I need to check that out, don't I? And crash ports. Any crash so no reports, there's nothing to report when it crashes. That's where you'd find if you had a crash. You're able to load back in, you go there and you find out what the crash happened. So what are we gonna do here? I thought of something, now I'm trying to remember what it was. Sort of like Biden in that regard. I'm kind of I don't have dementia that bad, but I have little memory issues here and there, mainly because of the DBS I have in my head. You stick electrodes down your head and you shoot electricity through yourself, you're going to have some issues. Problems, side effects to that. So, I guess that's pretty much it then. So that's Linux Mint. We'll go back to here. This is my image on the desktop, which I mentioned earlier. So if you like, oh yeah. Stop sharing, then I'm there. So that's what we got there. Yeah. So I like that. It's pretty cool. If you like Bungie and like Lynn Smith, they're married together now. So all you have to do is just follow those instructions down in the description. And you'll have Lynn Smith on the Bungie desktop on your side set up too. Pretty cool, huh? It's been about an hour, which is kind of what I expected. No mailbag questions that I saw. I'll double check it again before we sign off, but I wanted to check on this real quick. Expect today's to be a little bit shorter than usual, because usually I go for 2 hours or hour and a half or something like that. It's about an hour show today, so let's see. Nope, nobody else. Nope. Assuming things are getting through, there's no mailbag questions for me today. So yeah, keep that in mind. If you think of something during the middle of the week, just shoot an email to that email address, mail.bag@nlgg.rlcopple.com, and I will get them on a future show. I'll answer questions or about either the distro we're working on, that kind of thing. And if you have questions just general about me or whatever you want to, or comments you want to make, something like that, shoot me that and I'll read them on air unless they're too bad or something for me to read on air, you know. Can't cuss on air, that kind of thing. So yeah, so this is pretty much it for the day. Hope y'all enjoyed it. And don't forget to like and subscribe down there if you haven't already. And yeah. May the Linux Force be with you. Bye.